beginner black sash training. We are covering posture 8, Phoenix spreads wings. And this is one that when I learned it, I didn't really see how it connected to the form very much. It didn't seem like the rest of the Tai Chi to me. A surprising amount of little details of the way the power is generated in Tai Chi come from the motion that is sort of isolated. It's never really isolated. All of these postures are whole body exercises. But so let's say there's a focus on a certain dimension of the movement that I didn't even see was there at the beginning. So hopefully, I don't know if I'll be able to tell you exactly what that is, but we'll talk about the posture and maybe it'll become clear. So Phoenix spreads wings. Okay, we'll start with the feet. So the feet aren't together. It's not quite middle distance. I like to go a little closer than that. I say just kind of between the small and the middle of right and left. Of course, that sounds kind of vague, but it is. Okay, outside edges parallel. And, oh no, there's a mosquito stalking me. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. Okay, so once you have the foot placement, bend the knees a little. Tuck the pelvis. I say it feels like you're in sort of a crouch, like you're leaning forward a little bit. I'll show you from the side what the starting position is like. So I don't know how crouched that looks to you, but I feel like a little bit, almost like I might jump. Feel sinking down, and the arms are relaxed. So what goes on in that little sink down, where there's a little tuck of the pelvis, I feel the slight knee out, kind of focus of the weight in the heels and outside edges, even though I don't want the ball of the foot to come up. And you don't want the feet to rock all the way up while you're doing the posture either. You might feel the weight go more to the front or the back as you move, but try to keep the feet from popping up. So we've got our foot placement, which you saw from the front. We've got our sitting back, tucking the pelvis, leaning forward a little bit, which goes from here on me to about here. And then there's the arms. So you've seen the arms from the front a lot. What you might notice from the front is that they don't cross. So it's like there's a wall up there and a barrier they couldn't go past. So they may come pretty much straight up, they don't have to, but you don't want them to cross. But what about from the side? Like, are they exactly in a circle? No. Now everyone's range of motion in their shoulder is a little different. I mean, most people are within a range, but not everyone's exactly the same. So with that in mind, generally how far back do the arms go? Well, not so far back that I lose my close the chest, lift the back feeling. So I want to still have a close the chest, lift the back feeling, even if I feel a little bit more close and open. Not too far. Because of the way that my body comes up and down, you could say it's not exactly up and down, but it's up and down-ish. The way it comes up and down might make the arms appear to go back a little farther than they do. So there's a little optical illusion there. If I didn't move the legs and put the arms in the same range of motion, it would be about like this. And I'm being a little constrained. I'm not letting go. I'm feeling through it and keeping beginner in mind right now. So if you're intermediate advanced watching this and you say like, well, it feels better to go bigger with relaxed shoulders. Yes, correct. That's good. Okay, so we've got our tuck, we've got our knees. What happens in the legs? So common mistake you'll see is that they're going to straighten and untuck and then retuck. Don't do that. Keep the pelvis tucked and then you'll hear me say a pumping in the legs, or you'll read it in the Nei Kung book. Yes, it'll be straightening less, or I'm sorry, bending less, bending more. Bending less, bending more. Okay, so what do you think the spine does? I'll wait for you to come up with an answer. Spine, what does the spine do? In this one, it doesn't turn. So when our waist turns, I like to imagine the spine is the axis about which it turns, right? There's no turning in this one, so it stays neutral. So from the tucked in pelvis all the way up to the top of the head head suspended idea, that line should stay about the same. It'll seem to tilt and go through a rotation almost, but that's because of the legs. Shoulders, arms, what do? Let the shoulders open, keep relaxed, don't worry about the serpent's being too big. Head suspended. That's what the head does. Breath. What's the breath? Just constant, deep, relaxed breath. You don't have to go in, up, X down, or anything like that. Just breathe naturally. I would say it would be weird if your breath actually matched the motion exactly. It's usually not like that. All right, let's see other common mistakes. You saw the straighten the leg, bend the leg. Don't do that. Don't straighten, don't untuck. I think that's the main one I see. It's just that. If another one occurs to me, I'll bring it up in a second. So let's try a couple, and then we'll talk about some other things we can look at to get a different, more broader sort of ideas or conceptual ideas to find the real connection in this move. All right. Let's try a few. I'm going to be at a 3/4 perspective. Maybe that helps. Back, up and forward. And reverse. And reverse. Okay, so yeah, there is one concept, no other common mistakes came to mind, but there's one concept that helped it click for me, and maybe it'll help it click for you, or at least lead you to some other idea that won't click. And that is the idea of the body leading the arms. Now, if you're intermediate advanced and you're watching this, you'll be like, oh, the body leading the arms. I've heard of this. That if they arrive together, it's synchronized. It's not connected. Whereas if they're connected, there'll be a little delay, like the delay from the wave at the bottom of the whip to out when it reaches the tip. Mixing metaphors here. Apologize for that. So, what does that look like? So let me exaggerate it, because once it's internalized, it's harder to see. So if I'm going to get a super deep phoenix. Now, it might look like this. I would see some pressure come up from the legs, and then you would see that momentum up in the arms. And then I would sink down, and you would feel that momentum come back down. So the pumping of the legs is really the power generation of the move. It's not the waist turning, even though the waist is connected to the power of the legs. And then how to connect that to the other one, it's the same. So you'll feel a little straightening lead the arms, a little sinking lead the arms. And then a little straightening, or not to say straightening, let's say a little unbending, and a little sinking, and a little pressuring the feet, and a little sinking, and a little releasing some spring tension, and a little re-tensioning of the spring. Okay. So if that doesn't make sense, or if you have some question raised by that, which sometimes that's how it goes, like you figure something out and instantly 3 more questions come up, send all 3 to me, I'll answer it in the next class. Yeah. Okay. I hope you enjoyed the little Phoenix spreads wings move. If nothing else, hopefully you could see how it's not just circling the arms. Nothing wrong with that, as long as you don't injure yourself. That can be good too, but we're looking for a specific kind of body connection and movement. All right. It's about that time, so let's go ahead and do our life skill, and we'll dial out our black sash training. The path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. The path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. The path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. Beginner black sash training dismissed.